All right, today we're going to talk about the Constitution, and I just want to remind you, I know that we've already learned this, but just to go back and review, a Constitution is a document that gives instructions for how a government should run. So it's kind of like what we've called it in class, the rule book. And in the Constitution, it's split up into 9 parts, and today we're going to talk about the very first part, which is called the Preamble. And we know that the word part pre means before, so that's helpful to remember that. The preamble's job is to introduce the Constitution, to explain what the Constitution is meant to do, and to describe the purpose of the new government. So it's basically like an introduction, kind of like if you were going to read like the back of a nonfiction book and it told you what was going to be inside of it. It's just telling what it's all about and why they created the Constitution. Now, back in the 1700s, they used very different language than we use today. So when you go to read the preamble, it can be kind of confusing because of the language they use. So I'm going to go back through and I'm going to actually help you with the translation. So make sure you have your breaking it down, the preamble paper outside near you so that you can follow along. Okay, the very first line says, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union." So we're just going to talk about the first part. Obviously, you know that the people means the people that are in the country, but specifically it's put in there to say not the king, not one powerful being, but all the people of the United States that are in the country, in order to form a more perfect union, which just means we were a country before and we want to do it better this time. We want to form a better country, so we're going to do some things and we're going to follow some new rules. So we the people, in order to become a better country, we're going to do 5 things. The first thing is we're going to establish justice, which just means that we're going to create a fair legal system, fair system of what happens when someone does something wrong. We're going to ensure domestic tranquility. Remember, domestic means at home, and tranquility is like a word for peaceful. So we're going to keep things peaceful at home. In order to keep things peaceful, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to provide for the common defense, and we're going to promote the general welfare. So, provide for the common defense just means we're going to defend ourselves if we're attacked. And then general welfare means the safety and the healthiness of the people. So we're going to keep our people safe and healthy. So we're going to go back to the beginning and review. So we, the people of the United States, all the people, not just one king that's in power, in order to form a more perfect union, one that's better than what we had before, we're going to do 5 things. The first thing we're going to do is create a fair legal system. We're also going to ensure domestic tranquility or peacefulness at home. We're going to protect ourselves and defend ourselves if we're attacked. And we're going to keep our people safe and healthy. The last thing that we're going to do to have a better country is we're going to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Blessings of liberty means we're going to make sure that we have freedom and liberty in our country because we didn't have it before, and it's very, very important to us. And then it says over here, in our posterity, and in the translation it says for our descendants. Both of those words, posterity and descendants, they just mean the people that come after us. So our children and our children's children and our children's children and the future of the country of America. We're going to be sure that they always have freedom. So to review, we've got we the people of the United States, not the king, all the people. In order to form a more perfect, better country, we're going to do 5 things. We're going to establish justice or fair legal system. We're going to make sure that there is peacefulness at home. We're going to defend ourselves if someone attacks us. We're going to keep our people safe and healthy. And we are going to make sure, no matter what, that there is freedom and liberty today and forever in the future of America. And the last line is kind of like a commitment. It says, we do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. And I really like the translation here. Just like saying, we have created this document and we agree to follow it. Not just the people that wrote it, but everybody. We are all going to follow this rule book. And that's the preamble. It's not as confusing as it first seems. So just to remember, I'm going to go back to this page down here. The preamble is one of 9 parts of the Constitution. It's the very beginning of the Constitution, and it's the part that tells us what the Constitution is all about. We'll talk more about this in class tomorrow. Please be sure that you complete the Google form online before you're finished with this assignment. Have a wonderful evening.